So it is 3:02. We will wait for another 3 minutes and then we will start. So it is 3:02. We will wait for another 3 minutes and then we will start. So it is 3:02. We will wait for another 3 minutes and then we will start. We will wait for another 3 minutes and then we will start. So friends, if you wish to switch on your video, you can switch on. So it is 3:02. We will wait for another 3 minutes and then we will start. We will wait for another 3 minutes and then we will start. So friends, if you wish to switch on your video, you can switch on. So it is 3:02. We will wait for another 3 minutes and then we will start. I just want to see if you are able to switch on your Katyayani, could you please switch on your video? Just want to see if you are enabled to switch on. Could you please start your video? Oh, yes, they are able to switch on. Namaste, Aniruddha ji. Right now, you don't have the privileges to unmute. Give that privilege once I brief you. Right. So everybody can switch on their videos if they wish. Namaste, namaste. Namaste. So it is 3:05. UGC Live may please make it live now, our meeting. Please confirm to me that you have made it live. Okay, okay. We are making it live. We'll just wait for a minute or so until it gives the green signal. Manish, I'm just waiting. You're ready? Yeah, you can make it live now. Namaskar, friends. Let me welcome all of you to this interaction via Zoom. This meeting is also streamed in our Twitter handle. If you miss out on any information during this interaction, you can replay the live telecast that is being done, and you can take some information that you might not be able to take it down during this interaction. Let me once more welcome you to this interaction. So initially what I will do is I will give you a brief account on the Common University Entrance Test. And after that, you can electronically raise your hand if you have any questions, any clarifications. I will unmute you and you can ask your questions. The idea behind this interaction is that we would like to make the students and the stakeholders very clear about the Common University Entrance Test. And I'm sure you are the perfect medium and you can explain it very well to the stakeholders. As you know, there are 45 central universities which are funded by the UGC. And some of these universities, about 14 or so, they were conducting earlier their own common entrance test. But however, all of you know that the national education policy provides the opportunity to conduct the common entrance test, common university entrance test, basically to reduce the burden on the students and the universities and the colleges, and in fact, the entire education system. We believe that as envisaged in the national education policy, the Common University Entrance Test, CUET, it will provide a common platform to get admission in all universities and colleges across the country, colleges which are affiliated to the university. The CUET should provide equal opportunities to candidates across the country from different educational boards, and especially those who are from the northeast part of our country and those who are come from the rural and other remote areas of our country. The CUET is expected to reduce the financial burden on parents and students, since students do not have to write multiple entrance tests for admission in UG and PG programs. This is one of the most important reforms as part of the NEP 2020 that UGC is now implementing across the country. For the academic session 2022 and 23, the Common University Entrance Test will be conducted by the National Testing Agency, both for the UG and PG programs. All higher educational institutions, irrespective of whether they are state universities, private universities, or deemed to be universities, all of them can use the CUET scores for admission in UG and PG programs. However, it may be noted that admissions in the UG programs in all central universities funded by the UGC will be based solely on CUET scores, and it is compulsory for all the central universities to use the CUET scores for admission into the UG programs, undergraduate programs. For PG programs, many universities, central universities also are willing to use the CUET score. The CUET will be conducted in 13 languages: Assamese, Bengali, English, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Malayalam, Marathi, Odia, Punjabi, Tamil, Telugu, and Urdu. You know that NTA has already been conducting JEE and NEET in these languages. and there will be no questions on aptitude testing. Of course, there will be a general test that the students have to write. As part of CUET, we have decided to give wide choice to the students to pick up the subjects. For example, a candidate can take as many as 6 domain subjects in addition to a compulsory language test and also the general test. And CUET will be conducted in 23 domain-specific subjects. And out of these 23, a student can write in 6 domain subjects. And they have to compulsorily write one test in one of the languages. And also they have to write the general test. One important thing that I would like to inform all of you is that the CUET, it will not affect the existing admission process in the universities in terms of the existing reservation policy as per the provisions contained in the ordinances or regulations of the respective universities. All that we are saying is that you need to use the CUET scores for your admissions. But however, the admission policies of the university, which vary from university to university, that will remain same. That will not be affected. Meaning that, let's say in certain university, the certain percentage of the seats are reserved for the local students. It will remain for the local students. Those percentage of seats will remain reserved for the local students. The only difference is that the local students who are admitted to this percentage of seats in that university, they will also come through CUET, and the students who are admitted in the general seats will also come through CUET. So in terms of the reservations, the CUET will not affect the admissions. And we have also decided that the CUET will be exempted for admission of international students in Indian universities, and they will be continued to be admitted as per the existing practice the universities have, which is on a supernumerary basis. For the PG programs, many of the universities are also joining the CUET. So we hope that all the universities, all the central universities will ultimately make use of only CUET for their PG programs also. Now, what about the PhD programs? For the PhD programs, one can use the NET score or the NET, the National Entrance Test conducted by various other organizations. And the universities can decide to take the best of the NET scores when they apply to the universities for the admissions. And in those universities where there are particular subjects where there are no NET examinations held in those subjects, the universities can decide to conduct an entrance exam in those particular subjects of the PhD programs. They can decide to conduct an entrance examination. However, if the students are selected through the NET scores, then only interview will be conducted as per the 2016 PhD admission regulations. Only interview will be conducted. But however, if the university decides to conduct an entrance examination for PhD admissions, then the 70-30 formula will be used. 70% for the entrance examination marks and 30% for the interview that the university conducts. And what about the professional programs, MTech, for example, MPharm, or even BTech programs that the universities are conducting? The universities can continue to admit the students in their MTech programs, MPharm programs on the basis of the scores obtained through graduate aptitude test in engineering, GATE examination. And similarly for BTech admissions, if they are using the JEE common counseling procedure, or if they are using JEE scores, they can continue to do so and admit the students in their professional programs. However, there is one important thing that I would like to inform you. For skill-based and professional UG courses, undergraduate courses such as fine arts, music, theater, we are saying that the practical examination or interview may also be conducted by the universities along with the CUET scores as per their existing practice. They may assign a certain percentage of marks for this interview and practical examination in these specific professional programs such as fine arts, music, theater, and then the remaining percentage will come from the CUET scores. So the individual universities can also decide on the minimum percentage at the 12th board examinations as the eligibility criteria for admissions in the PG programs. Different universities may have different board examination marks as a criteria, and that will be completely left to the choice of the universities. There will be no centralized counseling for admission. Universities may conduct their own individual counseling on the basis of the merit list prepared based on the CUET scores provided by the NTA. So in summary, all that I'm saying is that the admission process of the university will not be affected even if they are using the CUET score. And for all the central universities, it is compulsory to use the CUET score for admission in all the undergraduate programs. And for PhD, the admissions are made through net score or by conducting, the university can conduct its own entrance examination. And for all the professional programs such as MTech, MPharm, BTech, and so on, you can continue to use the existing scores from different examinations such as GATE and JEE. Now, let me also tell you that tomorrow we'll be posting a public notice about the Common University Entrance Test, and it will also appear in all the newspapers day after tomorrow. And NTA will also post the complete details on the structure of the Common University Entrance Test on their website. So we are requesting all the stakeholders to visit the NTA website for more details on the structure of the undergraduate entrance test for the admissions in the universities. So the other thing that I wanted to tell you that the syllabus for the CUET for the UG admissions, it will be mirrored with class 12th syllabus, and the question papers will be based on the model syllabus of NCERT for class 12th only. Okay, so therefore it is very clear to the students what syllabus they have to study. They have to look at the NCERT syllabus for class 12th only. And different boards may have different allocations of the concepts as present in the NCERT syllabus. Therefore, the candidates will be given an overall choice in all these sections. The structure of the test papers for the CUET will be designed such that it offers greater flexibility to the candidate in terms of choosing the languages and also the domain subjects. So it will have section A, section 1A and section 1B, which focuses on languages. In section 1A, there will be 13 languages. As I mentioned, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Urdu, Assamese, Bengali, Punjabi, Odia, and English. And the candidates have to choose any one of these languages. And this is compulsory for the candidates to choose. But however, if they wish to write in an additional language in section 1B, there are 19 languages that we are offering in section 1B, and the candidates can choose any of these languages from this. For example, French, Spanish, German, Nepali, Persian, Italian, Arabic, Sindhi, Kashmiri, Konkani, Bodo, Dogri, Maithili, Manipuri, Santali, Tibetan, Japanese, Russian, Chinese. So these are the 19 languages we are going to offer in section 1B. In case a candidate wants to choose any other language apart from those 13 languages that we are offering in section 1A, they may choose this under this. And then under the domain-specific subjects, where the candidates can choose 6 domain subjects, we are offering 27 domains. I will not read out those. We will be putting out all these domain subjects in NTA website. But just for your information, these 27 domain-specific subjects, they include, for example, accountancy, bookkeeping, accountancy with computer accounting, so one domain subject, biology, biological studies, biotechnology, another one, business studies, chemistry, computer science, economics or business economics, engineering, graphics, entrepreneurship, geography, history, home science, knowledge, tradition, practices in India, legal studies, commercial arts, mathematics, physical education or NCC, physics, political science, psychology, sociology, teaching aptitude, agriculture, mass media or mass communication, anthropology, fine arts or visual arts, sculpture or painting, and performing arts, different performing arts such as dance, drama, theater, music. And then the 27th domain-specific subject is Sanskrit. The candidates can choose any 6 out of these domain subjects. And NTA is planning to conduct the common university entrance test in 2 shifts. So if a candidate is writing 1 language, 2 domains, domain-specific subjects, and 1 general test, it takes about 3 hours 15 minutes to 3 hours 30 minutes. The actual time will be decided by NTA. And if the candidate chooses to write any other 4 domain subjects out of the 6 applicable, and then if they want to write 1 language out of the 19 languages that I have mentioned, so 4 domain subjects and 1 language, it will take about 3 hours 45 minutes in the second session. So candidates can sit both in session 1 and also in session 2. There is no need that candidates have to write all the 6 domain subjects. They need to see in which universities they are going to take admission or apply for admission. And then in their university, in the university websites, they need to see in which domain knowledge they would like to use the CUET scores, and accordingly choose any of the 6 domain subjects, and then the candidates write the CUET in those domain subjects. So we hope that with the introduction of the CUET across the country, large number of universities, apart from the central universities, will use the CUET scores, because basically looking from the student's point of view, they will be writing only 1 single entrance test for admission across the country, whether it is in a local university or in a central university. And this is bound to make things much easier for the students in terms of not undergoing a lot of stress, because they have to prepare for different kinds of entrance examinations. And as I mentioned here, the questions will be based on the NCERT syllabus in +2 standard. So therefore, we hope that the introduction of CUET will be adopted by all the universities across the country. So this is the brief information that I wanted to give you about the CUET. And if any one of you would like to ask any questions, please feel free and raise your hand electronically, then I will unmute you. Right, so let me go to Katyayani first, and I will ask her to unmute. Katyayani, please unmute yourself. Katyayani, could you please unmute? Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So just want to know if any university wants to give weightage to class 12 score, will it be allowed?
Not in the central universities. In central universities, the UG admission will be solely based on CUET score. So there is no weightage for the +2. But for the other universities, it's up to them.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So let me now go to Aniruddha Sharma. Could you please unmute yourself?
सर
Yeah, please go ahead.
सर नमस्कार सर, ये दो चीजें जानना था कि एक जो AMU अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी और दूसरा ये जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया, ये भी सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं, क्या इन पर भी ये समान रूल लागू होंगे जिस तरह की ये आप जिस तरह से कॉमन प्लेटफॉर्म की बात कर रहे हैं, एक, और दूसरा ये कि दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में ही जो सेंट स्टीफेंस कॉलेज है वो भी उनकी जो अपनी प्रक्रिया थी वो पहले भी दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी की प्रक्रिया से अलग थी। तो इन दोनों चीजों को आप बताएं, एक तो जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया और AMU वाला, और दूसरा सेंट स्टीफेंस कॉलेज दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी।
देखिए, पहले मैं जो बताया कॉमन यूनिवर्सिटी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट फॉर UG एडमिशंस, ये तो सभी सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटीज को कंपलसरी है। और देखिए, फ्रॉम स्टूडेंट्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, इट इज मच बेटर फॉर ए स्टूडेंट टू राइट CUET and get admission. So that is why for all central universities it is compulsory. और जो आप constituent colleges, affiliated colleges के बारे में जो बताया, जब a main university, central university, DU university तो central university है, जब CUET compulsory है DU को भी, because it's a central university, DU का कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट कॉलेजेस जो है, एफिलिएटेड कॉलेजेस जो है, इनको भी CUET कंपलसरी होगा। लेकिन इस विषय पर जो यूनिवर्सिटी है, इनका स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडीज में वो डिस्कस करेगा और इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करेगा। और आपने माइनॉरिटी इंस्टीट्यूशंस के बारे में भी आप बताया। देखिए, माइनॉरिटी इंस्टीट्यूशंस में कुछ सीट्स माइनॉरिटी स्टूडेंट्स के लिए रिजर्व किया होगा। वो रिजर्वेशन में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा CUET स्कोर्स को यूज करें तो। हम सिर्फ यही कह रहे हैं, जो सीट्स रिजर्व किया आप माइनॉरिटी स्टूडेंट्स को, नहीं तो कुछ यूनिवर्सिटीज में, जैसा विश्व भारती यूनिवर्सिटी में 2 स्कूल्स हैं, वो स्कूल्स में बच्चों जो पढ़ते हैं +2 के बाद इनको यूनिवर्सिटी में एडमिशन मिलता है। तो विश्व भारती जैसा यूनिवर्सिटीज हो, सेंट स्टीफन कॉलेज जैसा यूनिवर्सिटीज हो, जो सीट्स रिजर्व है लोकल स्टूडेंट्स होगा, नहीं तो रिजर्व कैटेगरी होगा, वो सीट्स को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। बट admission for those seats also will be based on CUET, and for all the general seats CUET is anyway compulsory. I hope I have answered your question. Right. Now let me go to Manesh ji. Could you please unmute yourself?
Good afternoon, sir.
Right.
Sir, there are 2 questions I have to ask. Whether the private universities, if they want to, can join CUET. And one technical question is about the 19 other languages. If my understanding is fine, those other languages are domain specific, so that if any student want to study in France, they can actually, they have to take that exam, as well as one more language which is a compulsory language, and the domain.
You're absolutely right, Manesh. As you said, if somebody wants to take UG in French language or German language, they can write those papers. But one paper from the 13 languages, that is compulsory. And as far as the private universities, in fact, we will be very happy whether it is a state university, private university, or deemed university, if everybody adopts CUET, because you see, national education policy is being implemented across the country, and we are all part of the single educational education landscape. So we want everybody to be on board with CUET and use the CUET scores for admission in their universities. Right. So now let me go to Prashant Nandaji, could you please unmute yourself?
Sir, good afternoon. So I have a couple of questions. One is, you said that at the UG level, it is mandatory for all central universities. But at a PG level, perhaps the universities has some amount of options to whether they want to go for it or not. The question is, has other state universities, I'm sure they must be in touch with you, who are the other states, or how many other state universities have already expressed their view to be part of this exercise? Because as you have rightly said, it will reduce the effort of students as well as the universities to appear for an exam and get selected. The second point is, you said there is no common counseling, sir. If you look at when you aspire to reduce redundancy in terms of the processes, common counseling is a great asset. You know the JEE part and the IIT system. So when are we expecting the common counseling to happen? Perhaps because that will reduce if there is any vacancy in smaller and the newer university system. And third, so when are you going to when the PG common test going to be mandatory for all central universities, sir?
Right. No, very good questions. Informally, of course, I'm talking to many heads of institutions, whether they are private or state universities. They have shown keen interest to use CUET scores. But now that through you, we'll be informing everybody the actual structure of the CUET. I'm sure there will be a lot of interest among the universities to be part of the CUET. And we will also be contacting the heads of the institutes to motivate them to be part of this CUET. By the way, the CUET application form will start on NTA website sometime in first week. And then we are expecting that the CUET will be conducted in the first week of July, so that the scores are ready for the admission process in the universities. And as far as the common counseling is concerned, we have a lot of diversity in our country, and we would like to wait for this year and see how things will move forward. And then, as you rightly said, if you have a single common counseling, it will reduce further the burden on the students instead of applying to multiple universities. We will definitely take your suggestion and see if such a thing can be done, at least among the central universities to begin with, right? Let's go in steps. And as far as the PG admissions are concerned, again here, some universities have very specialized subjects in PG. So therefore, this year we are saying that if there are common subjects in all these central universities, we will conduct a common entrance test. But however, if there are some specialized subjects, either the university can conduct it, or like JNU does, they can use the NTA services and conduct a separate exam for those specialized subjects. But in future, because see, technology gives us a lot of flexibility. Even if there is diversity, we can include those diverse subjects also in the PG entrance test and have one CUET even for the PG. So perhaps that may happen next year. Right. Prashant Nandaji, could you please unmute yourself again?
Yeah. Sir, I have a small question, a small clarification rather. You said that in the UG level at central universities, the class 12 board marks will not have any weight. It will be purely through the entrance examination. Right. Is it a conscious move, knowing that what happened in the school system in the last 2 years, and most of the education has happened from home, and there is several questions of whether it is fair enough to score 99%, whether it was a just atmosphere to score that much? Is it the environment that prevailed in last 2 years prompted you to take this decision? Because generally we believe that class 12 is a very important live event for any student. If you're not giving any weightage to the class 12 marks, then I'm sure you must have thought through it, sir.
You're right, Prashantji. Not using class 12 marks is not a new thing. For example, in all IIT admissions, we use JEE score to admit the students. That's primarily because of the diversity of the boards that we have and the different kinds of evaluation systems that we have. Same is true with the university admissions also. And that's the reason why we are giving one standard NCERT syllabus. So everybody can prepare from there, and you have a common reference ground and compete with rest of the students and then get admission. So that's the reason why we have decided to go for only CUET score for admission in UG programs. Okay, right. So let me now go to Ritika ji. Could you please unmute yourself?
Good afternoon, sir. Ritika. Sir, just a couple of things. I'm sorry, I wasn't able to understand. First, sir, you said that the entrance test will not affect any reservation that is made for minorities in minority institutions.
Right.
But at the same time, admissions to those seats reserved for minorities as well as general category has to happen through CUET, right, sir? If I'm not wrong, is that correct? Right. Okay. Thank you. So the second thing that I wanted to check was that.
But Ritika ji,
yes, sir. Yes,
this
sir.
also I said that it is the individual central university which will discuss
Which-
in their statutory
right.
bodies for the
Right.
minority component or for the reserved component,
Right.
and then decide. But ideally, because the general students are coming through CUET, the ideal situation would be for the reserved seats also. If they come through CUET, that would be the best thing.
But you're saying the final call rests with the statutory bodies of the respective universities for their constituent colleges, if
Right.
they are minority.
No, they of course have to decide in their statutory bodies. But if the central university, for the central university, if the CUET is compulsory for UG admissions,
Right.
then the constituent colleges, affiliated colleges also have to use the same benchmark. So therefore, in order to facilitate this, the statutory bodies of the university have to adopt this and make it part of their rules and regulations.
Okay, so that means, sir, that opting out is not really an option as far as central universities are concerned.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So my second clarification was, I'm not even, so there is section 1, which is of 13 compulsory languages, and you have to take one out of them. The 1B is 19 languages, if at all you want to study a domain language.
Correct.
So uske baad jo hai, apart from these two, I need to write another 4 domain. Is that compulsory? I mean, I'm not really able to understand.
After that, see, I need to write at least one domain subject.
Right. Okay.
Let's say I want to join in BA economics somewhere. So
Right.
out of these 20 domains, 27 domains, economics is one domain. So you write. But if you want to take admission in some other domains also, so you can write up to 6 domain subjects.
Okay.
So that way, the choice for you is increasing because you have a CUET score in 6 different domain subjects. So you can approach different universities in those domain subjects, and then you can get admission.
So, sir, this is 6 in addition to section 1A and B, or
Yes,
4?
yes. Section 1A language is compulsory.
Right.
And the domain out of 27, you choose up to 6 domain subjects. And section 3 is the general test. The general test is for all candidates who would like to, for example, appear in any such undergraduate program being offered by a university, where a general test is being used for admission. For example, in JNU language programs, they use a general test to admit students in the UG programs. So it is quite possible that in some universities, they just want to use only the general test score to admit in various domain subjects. So we are giving this choice also to the universities.
Right. So the exam will be held in 2 shifts, sir. The first shift will be, what will the first shift be on, sir?
Right. So in the first shift, you will have the section 1A.
Right.
And then you can write any 2 domain subjects out of 27.
Right. Okay.
And then if you wish to write, you can also write the general test for,
Right.
for admission in programs such as vocational programs or cross-stream programs or any other general program. You can use this CUET score as part
Right.
of the general test, right?
And
This
the
is,
second shift, sir?
and in the second shift, we are planning to have the student can take any of the 4 domain subjects
Right.
out of 27.
Okay.
If the student has already taken, 2 in the first shift, the student will have the choice to do up to 4 domain subjects in the second shift.
Right.
And then if they want to do any language, program, UG program, they can then choose out of these 19,
Right.
they can write a test.
I'm so sorry, sir. I just want to quickly get this right. First shift, section 1A, general test and 2 domain subjects. Second shift, if you want to write an additional 4 domains, plus if you want to attempt that language, right?
You are absolutely right. So let me just summarize that. In shift 1, you will have 1 language plus 2 domain plus 1 general test.
Right. Right.
And in shift 2, you will have 4 domain subjects plus 1 language if you wish to write.
If I wish to write. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it.
But we will put all these details on the NTA website also later.
So this will include the date sheet as well tomorrow whenever it's up?
That NTA will work out the dates and then they will put it out. And just wait for a week or so, it will come out. All those details will come.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now let me go to Vanamudra. Could you please unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, sir. I connect later. Sir, are you any change being made in the UGC? And all states want to change the higher education system. What decision is made on this, sir?
देखिए, हम तो नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी को पूरा देश में इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहा है और इसमें बहुत रिफॉर्म्स हैं.
English, please, sir.
To improve the educational standards, as you know, we are implementing the NEP 2020 across the country, and we are in discussions with all the heads of institutes and the state governments also. And as part of these reforms, NEP envisages the conduct of a common university entrance test. So as part of that, for admissions in July 2022-23, we are going to conduct a common university entrance test. It's one of the very important reforms that UGC is implementing, which is part of the NEP 2020. So today we have called this meeting to discuss the details about this CUET. And we said that CUET is compulsory for all UG admissions in central universities. But however, any university across the country can also use the CUET scores. Okay, Ji? Right. So now let me go to Katyayani. She has another question. Katyayani? Yeah.
Yes, sir. So just want to know this, means many students change their stream after 12. So what if first science student want to study humanity? So what is the system for that entrance exam?
Right. Katyayani, as you know, NEP says that we need to encourage multidisciplinary education, right? And most of the universities are gearing towards that. So again, it is part of the admission policy of the university. And if the admission policy of the university says that I can admit a BTech student in electronics in MA economics, that process will continue. Or if a university says in BA economics, we want to admit students from +2 who have majored in maths and science, it is up to the university. All that we are saying is that use the CUET, but continue or modify your admission processes in tune with the national education policy.
So, sir, if a student who is of PCM group, he wants to give the exam for history honors or political science honors, so how he will choose the entrance examination?
Right. So the student has to visit the university website and see what are the qualifications that the university is asking. Let's say I'm doing BA in history. If the university says that even if you have science or history or some other background, you are eligible to apply, then the student can write that particular domain subject and then write. Okay. So it is left to the university. We are not changing the admission process of the university. We are only asking them to use the CUET score in whichever possible manner that they would like to use. But our belief is that since most universities are now looking at implementing the multidisciplinary education, I'm sure most universities may come up with the admission policies which help the students to study across the disciplines.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Let me go to Sunil Raghavji. Sushil Raghavji, please unmute yourself.
नमस्ते सर.
नमस्ते.
सर आपने कहा कि कॉमन काउंसलिंग नहीं होगी, तो जैसे दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में बहुत सारे कॉलेज हैं, तो ये कॉलेज के स्तर पे काउंसलिंग होगी या यूनिवर्सिटी के स्तर पे काउंसलिंग होगी?
हाँ, देखिए, if a university has its own constituent colleges, affiliated colleges, it is for the university to decide whether they want to have for all those colleges a common counseling, or they want to continue with the existing admission process but use only CUET score. And if you are saying for all the central universities whether we should have common counseling, we are saying at this time we don't have any such common counseling. Individual university will follow its admission process. Okay, right. Let me, Aniruddha, I will come to you. Basant Mohanty ji, could you please unmute yourself? Please go ahead, Basant ji. Okay, Basant ji, can you hear me? We are not able to hear you. I will come back to you. There is here Juveria. Juveria, could you please unmute yourself? I'll come to Aniruddha ji. Just wait.
Good afternoon, sir.
Right.
I just want to ask how do you think this would impact competition? In terms, students would write the university test for one university. Now there's one test for all universities. So, like it has done with NEET, people say it has increased competition. Do you think the same impact will happen over here? And how do you think it will affect the students if the competition increases like that because of the CUT?
Right. No, it's a very good question. Let's say there is a university located in a district headquarters, and let's say only the local students apply there. They write CUET and then they submit their CUET scores to the university. They make a rank list and then they admit in the local university, right? Because mostly only local students are applying. So their admission process will not be affected, but they can use the CUET score instead of using some other means of admitting the students. And now, if there are national level universities such as central universities, and people want to get admitted, in a university like DU or JNU, people apply from across the country, and that will still continue. And providing opportunity to more students, is it not a welcome thing to happen? If more rural students write this common entrance exam, if more students from the economically weaker backgrounds, they write this common university entrance test, and if they get admission in a place like JNU or DU or some of the top central universities, is it not a positive thing to happen? So therefore, I only see that CUET will provide a wider option to the students, especially those coming from remote areas, from economically weaker sections and rural backgrounds. They will have a better opportunity to gain high quality education. So I think all of us should welcome this thing. Right. Juveria, would you like to unmute yourself? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right. So let me go to Aniruddha Sharma ji.
सर दो चीजें केवल क्लियरिफाई करनी थी। एक तो ये कि जब CUET के स्कोर से सारे एडमिशन होंगे और अगर यूनिवर्सिटीज को अपना क्राइटेरिया तय करना है एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन वाला, जो जैसे 12th के कोई पर्टिकुलर नंबर, तो मान लीजिए कि पहले कट ऑफ आता था, उस तरह से अगर यूनिवर्सिटी अभी भी 90% का एक फिगर तय करती है कि तो ये अधिकार उसको होगा कि वो 90% का फिगर या ABC कुछ भी जो तय करे 12th के क्राइटेरिया के तौर पर।
देखिए, जनरली हम यूनिवर्सिटीज में क्या करते हैं कि स्कोर्स के बेसिस पर हम फर्स्ट लिस्ट निकालते हैं और इसके बाद कुछ स्टूडेंट्स नए ज्वाइन किया और वैकेंसीज है हमारा यूनिवर्सिटी में और हम सेकेंड लिस्ट को लाएंगे, थर्ड लिस्ट को लाएंगे, फोर्थ लिस्ट को लाएंगे. So until we fill up all the seats, we can do this first list, second list, and third list, and so on. But even after that, if some seats are vacant, the university can use any appropriate means to fill up those seats. So this is what we are saying.
और दूसरा सर, इसमें एक चीज और समझना चाहते थे कि कोई भी एक मान लीजिए कि इकोनॉमिक्स BA इकोनॉमिक्स ऑनर्स में लेना है, तो ये तमाम यूनिवर्सिटीज में अवेलेबल है, तो उसका क्या कोई इसमें तरीका दिया जाएगा कि कैसे, जैसे इस वक्त बीटेक के उसमें JEE के स्कोर में बीटेक कंप्यूटर साइंस लेना है तो वो 6 IITs में है, तो उसका जो पैटर्न होगा लगभग वही पैटर्न यहाँ पर भी होगा CU सेट में BO इकोनॉमिक्स ऑनर्स के मामले में या किसी भी?
हाँ, देखिए, अब तो कॉमन काउंसलिंग नहीं है, तो इसीलिए a student can apply to 10 universities, 15 universities, wherever BA economics is there. And they may, that is why I'm saying there is a wider choice to the students to try and apply and get admission in the university that they would like to join. So there's a wider choice to the students now. Manish, please go ahead.
Sir, just one simple clarification. In the media, we have been writing so many names, have CUCET, CUET, combined entrance. So what is the exact form?
Okay, please take it as the final form, what I am saying. It is called Common University Entrance Test, CUET.
Right,
Common University Entrance Test.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Okay. I think we have answered many questions. And I would like to thank on behalf of UGC, all the friends who have joined here and asked so many important questions. Thank you and goodbye until we meet. Namaste.